In this Synergy Gel sculptured video, I'm gonna show you how to do Mylar and glitter in the perfect fade using reverse application. Check out how this is done. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare the natural nail by pushing the cuticle back with the magic wand. What we're going to do is prep the nail gently by removing the shine in one direction. So remember, we're not trying to be aggressive. All we want to be able to do is gently tickle away the natural shine from the surface of the natural nail. Notice with my grip, it's easier to use the reverse to come around in one direction and then come diagonally through the nail by lightly tickling away the surface of shine. Once we're done doing that, you're going to use swipe to cleanse the surface of the nails of oils and contaminants as well as dust, preparing it for protein bond application. When we're working with Synergy Gel, we want to make sure that we're putting 2 coats of protein bond. So what I'm going to do is apply a nice coat from cuticle to free edge on all 10 fingers. As soon as you're done doing all 10 fingers, come back, apply your second coat from cuticle to free edge, allowing it to set. It's not going to dry completely. It's going to leave a nice tacky layer for you to work on. This is going to conclude your preparation, setting you up for the perfect application. I'm going to show you guys how to sculpt with 3 gels. We're going to use base, build, and concealer pink. So, in order for us to build the perfect platform, the easiest thing to do is actually to structure the free edge first. What I'm going to do is place my tab underneath my form, pre-pinch, allowing me to open up. Do not hold the form out here, hold it here, right here at the bottom, which is going to give you enough leverage to rock it on, secure from the side of the finger, not up here at the top, making sure that the form is going to secure itself at the very front of the nail. Notice how parallel it is to the growth channels here. I don't want it angling down. I want it straight so that my side walls are going to be nice and even. This is what you would do for a square nail. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to shape an oval structure. So what we want to be able to do is slightly pinch and tilt the form slightly down. The difference between square and oval, again, this is going to keep my sidewall straight and it's going to allow me to structure a nice oval shape so the sidewalls are going to come out perfect from the corners to the very tip of the nail. What I'm going to do is saturate one of these wipes, fullest swipe, set it on to my tile so that it sticks, allowing me the perfect platform to clean my brush during application. So what we're going to do is use base. And when we are using base, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up a nice amount on one side of the brush. I'm going to set it right to the tip. And what I'm going to do is notice I'm going to walk it up into the corner, connect. I'm going to go back over the top, connect it to the other corner, connect. And then lightly on the surface, start to slide the product down towards the tip to create the perfect almanetto shape. If I need a little bit more, I can always grab just enough. Again, slide, keeping contact all the way through in a nice floating motion. I am now going to get inside the light and freeze it. This is going to allow me to set it and prepare for the next round of application. Once the free edge is set, in order to secure the free edge, what I like to do is take just a thin amount of base with a lot of pressure. I'm going to push it on the natural nail, onto the free edge. Notice how I'm actually securing it. We don't want a visible step here, so you could always take just a really thin amount to secure that tip. And we're gonna get inside the light. And what this is going to do is it's going to create the perfect foundation layer for you to build your concealer pink. Once the product is set, don't just rip the free edge off. What you want to be able to do is use your magic wand to lightly pinch the sides. This will pop the form out. Use the bladed side of your magic wand to slide it underneath the free edge to release the gel from the form. If you just tear it off, it's going to tear the form and the free edge with it. So notice, pinch, release. Notice how I'm actually able to build a nice tight free edge. If you have areas of the tip that are actually hanging down, let me demonstrate. So as you can see, if I have a little bit hanging here, very carefully, I want to remove any excess to make it dead straight. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposing side. I have a little bit hanging right here. It makes it a lot easier than having a tip that's way too wide, which is going to basically create a platform for you to add way too much product. I'm now going to clean my brush of the base gel, and we're going to move on to concealer pink. For you to build perfect smile lines, it really does take, right, the perfect technique for reverse application. What I want to show you is how to build the body in one easy motion and to give you a chance to basically sculpt gel like acrylic. So what we want to do, we want to be able to scoop out a nice healthy amount. Notice on one side of my brush, I want to tap it off of the corner. I don't want to bounce it off. The gel's not going to go anywhere. We want to be able to break it off the edge, keep it on one side of my brush. This is going to allow me to set it down right here. Now look, all of that space around the cuticle area, what I want to be able to do is pillow. Look at how I'm pillowing by bouncing, bouncing, bouncing close to the edge. I'm going to do it on the opposite side. Once I'm done pillowing it around the perimeter of the cuticle area, this is going to give me the perfect opportunity to float it down into the perfect smile line. So watch as I start to move. As I start to move, just by coming forward with the tip of my brush and swinging into the shape of a smile line. Woo! Swing, swing. The best part about the product is it's going to stay in place. So, again, clean my brush, ensure that I have enough product from side to side. If I need to do any touch-up, I'm going to come in from the front, touch up from corner to center. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to come in lightly from corner to center. Right when I get to the center of the brush, I'm going to lightly take that tail and make sure that I lift away and get it absolutely perfect. The key is to get it in front of the light, just like this. Again, exposure to the UV light is going to do two things. It's going to allow the gel to cure slowly, and it's going to prevent your customers from doing this. Ah! Because that's the last thing your customer wants, is to burn their finger. So, if you do it like this, again, you're not only going to have success with building the body in one motion, you're going to prevent your customer's finger from getting too hot. You're going to allow it to set for 30 to 40 seconds. You're going to go inside the light and you work on the other hand. Okay? So, apply, freeze, work on the other hand, rotate and work until you're done. What we're going to do is we're going to take a thin amount, right, a small bead of the concealer pink, and what we're going to do is we're going to lay it down right. You notice our smile line, how round the smile line is. What we want to be able to do is set our brush right here, right in front, and notice how I'm actually going to pillow it out past the wall. And all I'm going to do is slide it into the corner. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposing side. All I'm going to do is slide it into the corner. I don't care about all of the excess residue. What I'm going to do is clean my brush, and then I'm going to run my brush on the bottom part of the gel, the gel that's actually cured. And what this is going to do, it's going to create the perfect wall for me to butt my glitter up against. So once you actually clean up that edge, notice how the wall now has become more vertical, becomes flush. I'm going to set this inside the light. We're going to freeze it as long as it takes you to do the other hand. And when you're doing this procedure, do 2 fingers at a time. This will allow you to work quickly. You don't have to worry about freezing it. You can go directly inside the light because you're not putting a lot of product on the nail. Once it sets, we're going to come out, and now we're setting ourselves up for whatever design we want. But I'm gonna show you guys actually how to fade Mylar and our custom glitter mix to create that wicked jewelry style free edge. The first thing I'm going to do is use Build, which is a great filler gel. And we're going to put that onto our tile. I'm going to use Lava to get a nice rich amount onto the surface, cover the whole surface of Build, and Jet Black. And again, I'm going to cover the whole entire surface. What we're going to do is we're going to press the glitter into the gel, and again, start to push it out, just like you're putting your jam on your toast. All right, notice how you're going to get that really wicked and rich glitter effect in your gel mix. What we want to be able to do is take our mixing spatula and start to scoop it up. And then again, all of this product can be saved in an opaque jar, not a clear jar, an opaque jar, and stored for future use. I'm now going to take just some small speckles of lemonade. And what we're going to do is use Build, and we're going to brush on a nice thin layer at the free edge. And with it wet, I want to be able to push pieces of Mylar into the wet gel. Once you have actually attached the pieces of Mylar into the wet gel, we're going to set this inside the light and freeze it into place. Once it has been set into place, we're going to take our custom glitter mix, and notice that I did not push the Mylar up to the smile line. I left enough space for me to put glitter right up to that wall. Right up to that wall, and notice with my brush how I'm actually going to open my brush, open it, how it's pointing up to the ceiling, and this is going to allow me to tuck it right up into the corner. I'm going to lightly float it onto the other side, do the same thing, turn my brush, notice how it's pointing up, into the corner, tuck it into the side, and then what I want to be able to do is just lightly fade it. Lightly fade it. Don't want to pull it over the smile. Just lightly brush so we have speckles inside our Mylar. Notice how we're going to create a wonderful looking fade. Once we're done doing that, we're gonna go inside the light and set it into place. The best part about this is we have, right, a clear free edge. So the gel is going to cure well from not only the top, but also the bottom. Once the glitter has set, we're going to take our build and we are going to encase the tip, making sure that I get enough product. We're going to cap the free edge. Notice how I'm lightly working with the gel, like I'm floating it over the whole entire surface. And this is going to create that jewel-like look. Make sure that once we get it on, we're going to quickly get it into the free edge. Again, if it runs, you could always turn the hand quickly upside down. I'm going to turn it back over and get it right inside the light. Since we were able to cap the free edge complete, we are now going to get it inside the light and cure it for the full 2 minutes. Once the product has been in the light for 2 minutes, we're going to come out of the light, we're going to take swipe, we're going to remove the dispersion layer from the surface of the gel and prepare ourselves for proper finishing. First thing we're going to do is remove the edges from our hand file so we do not cut our clients. I want to be able to shape my sidewalls first. It's really important to keep your hand file straight. You don't want to swing. You don't want to swing in with your hand file to round off your edges. So again, we're going to do it on both sides. The only area you're going to make sure that we get it tight is right at the tip. So we have a nice oval shape. My lower arch, notice how it is parallel to the finger. I'm going to start from the tip and file up until it reaches the corner. For the opposite side, again, as you can see, if your lower arch hangs, start from the tip, continuously file until that lower arch reaches the corner, and you're going to build perfectly straight sidewalls from here to the tip. Once we have performed the perfect perimeter shaping, we are now going to use eye formation to file it into perfection. I'm going to use, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to work in forward. And what we want to be able to do, again, is use the overgrip and look at the side profile. So what we want to be able to do is file it into the perfect upper arch. Since we are working with a little bit longer length, I want to be able to bring my bit out so that the tip of my handpiece does not touch the tip that I built out. Notice how I'm going to start from the back. I'm going to work to zone 2, down through zone 3 in order to shape a great upper arch. It's going to be a little bit weighted more towards the back end just because of the length of my tip. I'm now going to look down the barrel of my nail and I'm going to shape the C-curve using the barrel in one direction. I don't want to go side to side. All I need to do is look down the tip, right? The tip of my free edge to make sure it is perfectly straight. Again, I'm going to go around the cuticle area in one direction, coming all the way around, and then once I'm done shaping the eye, all I need to do is bring everything into shape, and as you can see, I'm going to be left with a really wicked smile line. I'm going to use my manicure brush to remove the dust. We are now going to use our hand file to come around the cuticle area to blend it flush to the natural nail. You do not want edges or ledges. Ledges will lead to lifting. Blend the cuticle area. Notice how all I have to do is come through the body to make sure that it is absolutely flawless. What I like to do too is look down this profile, the client profile, to make sure that we actually have a really well balanced tip. I'm going to use my buffer to come through and just, again, I don't need to spend a lot of time. All this is going to do is get it into great shape. Let's go ahead and dust off the excess. Swipe away the dust. Use finish gel over the surface. And again, I'm putting a nice rich amount. You don't want to go way too thin. And as you can see, let's get this inside the light for the full 2 minutes. As soon as the finish gel has cured, we're going to come out of the light. We're going to use rose oil around the cuticle and the hyponychium. And as you can see, we're able to sculpture a wicked fade between Mylar and the perfect gel mix.